I'm not a lawyer, but it feels to many that Israel is acting without any accountability towards international law. You are a lawyer and our Prime Minister, so can you please tell us how the UK will comply with the International Court of Justice's legal opinion on Israel's illegal occupation of Palestine? And can you outline how the UK will implement our legal obligations under the UN General Assembly resolution?
Yeah, look, I mean, I was an international lawyer. I think that marks me down, not up. But of course I believe in international law, and I accept it underpins everything we do bilaterally and multilaterally.
So what are we doing to hold countries to account?
Sorry?
What are we doing to hold countries
to
account?
Well, we are members of various courts and institutions, and that is one way of holding countries to account. But we also hold countries to account bilaterally in the discussions that we have at whatever level, whether that's leader to leader, whether that's foreign secretary to foreign secretary. We are critical of Russia as the aggressor in Ukraine because it's in breach of the UN Charter. That is a rules-based system. It is the basis of our criticism. It's the reason that almost all allies across the world, particularly in Europe, are putting in the amount of money they are, because Russia is the aggressor, and it's a rules-based system.
And Israel and the occupation of Palestine?
Well, again, I think the occupation is unlawful. We've said that, or that's been long-standing government policy. In fact, in fairness, the last government as well. We are members of the international institutions.
I've spoken to many humanitarian workers around the world who feel that Israel isn't being held to account, particularly when it comes to international humanitarian law. So will we be pushing for an inquiry into the 15 humanitarian workers that were killed on the 23rd?
Oh, I mean, there's got to be an investigation into that. And we have to be absolutely clear that we're not just talking about that isolated incident. There hasn't been enough aid getting into Gaza at speed and at pace for a very long time. The resumption of hostilities is the wrong thing, in my view. We need to get back to a ceasefire. We need to get aid in. We need to get hostages out. And we need to put our foot in the door for a process, however remote it may seem today, towards a two-state solution, which is, to my view, the only way of guaranteeing peace in the long term. And I do appreciate that may seem a long way off at the moment.